Violence with associated threat to safety has always been able to draw human attention. Proof is available in everything from our can't not look fascination with automobile accidents to the chart-topping sales of gruesome video games to the box office power of violent films that used to be called shoot 'em ups but have been transformed into more gory blow 'em ups and slash 'em ups. This tendency to lend special attention to potentially threatening stimuli appears to be with us from infancy and often pushes us into silly, indeed scared, silly actions. There are, for instance, dread risks, which involve risky steps that people take to avoid harm from something that is actually less risky but that they happen to be focused on at the time and have thereby come to dread. After the terrorizing events of September 11, 2001, when four commercial airlines were simultaneously flown to their destruction by Al Qaeda hijackers, media coverage of 9/11 related stories was heaviest. As a result, many thousands of Americans with long distance travel plans abandoned the dreaded skis for the roads. But the fatality rate for highway travel is considerably higher than higher than for air travel, making that choice the more deadly one. It's estimated that about 1,600 Americans lost their lives in additional auto accidents as a direct result, six times more than the number of passengers killed in the only US commercial plane crash that next year. Of course, it's possible that this switch from air to road travel was not due to dread risk effects but to the increased inconvenience of enhanced security producers in US airports. The likelihood of such an account is reduced by a study showing a similar drop in London underground system travel after the July 2005 subway train bombings in that city even though no more convenient security procedures were put into place. Instead of taking the trains, Londoners began buying and riding bicycles because bicycle trips in London are generally more hazardous than underground trips. Travel related injuries there spiked during the next several months due to hundreds of additional bicycle casualties. Dread risks turn out to be risky and dreadful indeed. It's obvious that marketers of certain items from home fire alarms to computer backup programs to their deodorants fill their ads with menacing information designed to capture our attention. However, most of the data on the effectiveness of such information comes from the message of communicators trying to steer us away from unhealthy lifestyle choices As a rule, communications that present the most frightening consequences of poor health habits work better than milder messages or messages that present the positive consequences of good habits. Plus, the more prominent and attention grabbing the fearsome appeals are, the better they work. In over a dozen countries, placing large, scary images and warnings on cigarette packages has had the double barreled effect of convincing more non smokers to resist the and more smokers to stop the practice. Lightening up will bring you down. Frightening cigarette pack images like these have reduced smoking around the world. Health and Human Services. Did you get that? What I'm talking about? But there's a particular type of free stalking messages that appears most capable of changing behavior. It does so, ironically enough, by reducing the fear it produces. That's no small advantage because high levels of fear about the ominous consequences of lung cancer or diabetes or hypertension might cause certain likely victims to deny that they will encounter those consequences personally. Hell, a heavy smoker might say, my grandfather on my mother's side smoked all his life and lived to 80, so I have probably got good cancer fighting genes. Others might we बताओ how why are you interrupting my life? Huh? Why are you interrupting my life? Grandfather, I have probably got good cancer fighting genes. Okay, now others might entertain different but similarly misleading nonsense to dampen in inflamed anxiety. A favorite among okay now. Okay now. Others might entertain different but similarly misleading nonsense to dampen the inflamed anxiety. A favorite among young people just starting to smoke is to suppose that by the time they suffer the ills of their actions, medical cures will be both available and easily obtained. What's the persuasive alchemy that allows a communicator to trouble recipients deeply about the negative outcomes of their bad habits without pushing them to deny the problem in an attempt to control their now heightened fears? The communicator has only to add to the chilling message clear information about legitimate available steps the recipients can take to change their health threatening habits. In this way, the, the fright can be dealt with not through self delusional baloney that deters positive action, but through genuine change opportunities that mobilize such actions. Consider how does STEAM redirected the behaviors of individuals who, after undergoing tests, were informed of their especially high vulnerability to hypoglycemia, a blood glucose disorder also known as chronic low blood sugar, and of its sometimes severe consequences such as organ failure, convulsions, and depression. Paired with this alarming news, the recipients got information about a workshop they could attend to improve their diets and hence their chances of avoiding the disease. Most of them sought out further information about the diet workshop and compared with similar health status individuals who received a less fear inducing message were four times more likely to sign up for the workshop then. And there that was because they believed the workshop would have a favorable impact on their health. And they used that new belief rather than denial to manage their anxieties. This approach then is how public health communicators can best deploy truthful yet frightening facts. By waiting to convey those facts until information about accessible assistance systems, programs, workshops, websites, and helplines can be incorporated into their communications. Overall, sexual and threatening stimuli, though often compelling, are not simple or unitary in their effects. With their complexities in mind, it becomes possible to understand how employing those stimuli can lead to great success in some influence situations, but to reversal in others. When several research teammates and I thought about the matter, we recognize that advertisers often ignore these complexities and consequently can produce expensive campaigns that actually undermine product sales. After one member of our research team, Vlad Griskivirus, urged us to take an evolutionary perspective, we realize that humans encountering threatening circumstances would have developed early on a strong tendency to be part of a group where there is safety and strength in numbers, and to avoid being separate where there is vulner, vulnerability to predator to enemy. The opposite would be true. However, in a situation with sexual possibilities, there are a person would want distance from the pack in order to be a prime recipient of romantic consideration. We also realize that these two contrary motivations to fit in and to stand out. बाहर 10 मिनट होने लागेको के हो यस्तो 8 बजे सुरु गर्नुभएको 11 मिनट भयो त एकचोटि आफै उयो भयो my perfectly onto a pair of long-time favorite commercial appeals. One of the Don't Be Left Out variety urges us to join the many, the other of the Be one of the few. Third urges us to step away from the many. So, which would an advertiser be better advised to launch into the minds of prospects? Our analysis made us think that the popularity based message would be the right one in any situation where audience members had been exposed to frightening stimuli, perhaps in the middle of watching a violent film on TV, because threat focused people want to join the crowd. but sending that message in an ad to an audience watching a romantic film on TV would be a mistake because amorously focused people want to step away from the crowd. When we tested this idea in an experiment, the results stunned me. An advertisement we created and we created stressing the popularity of San Francisco's Museum of Modern Art, visited by over a million people each year, supercharged favorability toward the museum among people who had been watching a violent movie at the time, and among those who'd been watching a romantic movie, an identical ad deflated traction to the museum, but a slightly altered ad formulated to emphasize the distinctiveness rather than the popularity of museum attendance stand out from the crowd had the opposite effect. The distinctiveness ad was exceedingly successful among individuals who had been watching the romantic film and it was particularly unsuccessful among those who'd been viewing the violent one. Although the data pattern seems complex, it becomes simplified when viewed through the prism of a core claim of this book. The effectiveness of persuasive message in this case, carrying to influence themes that have been commonly used for centuries, will be drastically affected by the type of opener experienced immediately in advance. But people in a very state of mind via that opener and driven by a desire for safety. A popularity based appeal will soar, whereas a distinctiveness based appeal will sink. But use it to put people in a amoral state of mind and driven by a consequent desire to stand out. The reverse will occur. Nearly all television and radio stations have a person who handles traffic information. Their responsibilities are not what you might think to coordinate on air reports of local road conditions, automobile crashes, and street closures. Instead, most often in the role of a log editor. This individual positions advertising experts so that any given ad is spaced appropriately at various times throughout the day and is not right too closely to an ad for a direct competitor. As advertising practitioners know, it would be grievous traffic management scene if, for example, the log editor scheduled an ad for Ford pickup trucks back to back with an ad for Toyota pickups. Such errors prompt bitter complaints from advertisers who recognize that mistakes of this sort blur their message and waste their money. I'm confident, though, that no advertiser has recognized the potentially much larger monetary consequences of a different approach to ad placement. They recognize the content of media programming a popular TV show, for instance, as doing more than exposing audience to accompanying commercial messages, but as also opening those audience persuasively to certain type of commercial messages. Hello, 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 hello. Who is this? For dinner with weird. Hello, hello, who is this? Thank you for coming. Hi, Eric Paniagua. Where are you from, bro? Or thank you for coming here. भर्खर 15 मिनट भयो यार. Thank you for coming here. Thank you, American. Oh, you're from America. So you're from America, right? Which part of America? Which part of America you are from? Yep. Eric Paniagua. Yes, you can chat with me. What are you doing? No, no, I'm just reading book. I'm trying to read books. Okay. Yes. And what are you doing right now? Nice. Thank you so much. This one is the book Persuasion, a revolutionary way to influence and persuade. New York Times best-selling author influence. Robert Cialdini. That one is good. Thank you, thank you. Can you tell me about this books? Can you tell me something about this book? That I would like to like to find out how to how to convince people. It's just 18 minutes and 15 seconds. That one is good. फेरि गीत सानो बज गीत सानो बज उतापट्टि फर्केर गर न हौ तिमी. To give to get. Yes, to give to get, yes. But this book is mostly talking about the advertisement. Like now people are doing what kind of advertisement. To give and to get, yes. Oh, this now I am at 76 page, right? So until now I'm just reading how people are doing ad for their business or anything. Like news reporters, they were always trying to find headlines which is on what was that, which is attracting people, like accidentally, there if there is accident, there is not that much how to say that, त्यो अलि सानो बजाऊ न. Okay, thank you. how to attract people's people, right? So if there is hijackers or something like that, so Eric, right? Your what is your name, Eric? Yeah. Mhm. Co-author of Sweet and Majestic, Rachel as Seller, co-author of News and author of Misbehaving, Adam Grant, Amy Cody, Timeless and Indispensable. It's Eric, yes, Eric. Eric. I only have like 1100 only, I think. I'm not that good at blogging, that's why. I just have, I think, 1100 and 40 50, something like that. Now here message is pinned. There is no viewers in my channel. That alert is that I only have 82. Okay, I'll okay, wait. Okay, sub me and I'll sub you back. Okay, you just go and watch my long video and just leave one comments. I'll sub you back and I'll watch your video. Long video. Okay, do you have long video? I did. Hold on. Okay. Okay, you just watch my long video and then leave a comment there, new or whatever, one comment, and I'll solve you back and I'll watch you one video. Okay, support me and I'll support you back. What kind of video do you make? What kind of video do you make? Hey, why I'm feeling sleepy like this?
लाइभमा देखियो हैन
Mhm. How much subs do you have? I only have 1100. कति मिनट भयो? 24 minutes भयो बल्ल.
खै खोल्नु त मेरो
निन्द्रा पो लाग्ला लाग्ला जस्तो गर्छ त यार
फ्लाइ पनि गरिदियो त्यतिकै छोडेछु त नि त लाइट अफ गरेर अब कसरी जानु त्यो लाइट अफ गर्दा
I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Do you leave a comment? Okay, this one is the book, right? Okay, I want this book. I subbed. Did you leave the comment? If you leave the comment, it will be easy to get back to you. And comment, yes. Did you watch full video, long video? Yeah, thank you so much. I'll get back to you after another 33 minutes. I'll end my live and I'll get back to you, okay? Hey, I'm sorry. So what do you do for a living? Bye. Okay, bye-bye. Take care. I'll get back to you, okay? After I end my live, then I'll get back to you. And I'll get back to your video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your messages. Hello.
बल्ल 25-26 मिनट भएर आला
28 minutes.